Oh no.
Oh boy.
Time for one of the highlights of the game. Alright, Strawface in this game is voiced by Dino Andrade. I have no idea who he is, what else he's done. Oh, it was in that information too. Cute. So yeah, Jonathan Crane is on the case, and while I can tell you in advance his appearance is not particularly as pants-cramping as the one from the later seasons of the animated series, he makes sure to leave a mark.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you run off the idea that this is a
Oh, so
continuation from
this
the animated
drunk.
series.
No.
No!
It's hilarious because you wouldn't want to see it. Again, this continues something that has been a thing for a while. The whole concept of, not necessarily more play tongue-in-cheek of, Joker and Batman being shipped because of their eternal rivalry, which stories like The Dark Knight Returns took to potential, literal extremes and not particularly good look when it comes to, queer representation. But again, let's just put it there as a, joke just for the sake of this. Anyway, continue in the meantime.
It will reach its natural extreme in Arkham Knight where Joker literally serenades Batman, but I digress. If we were to take this as like a continuation of the animated series, then we consider this Jonathan Cain's third or fourth makeover, because, okay, technically he was getting makeovers even as early as the first season of Batman. Mind you, it was more subtle with just the mask, but still, though.
It looks like we were late. Batman, what's wrong with your eyes?
I think that's to show you have detective vision on.
I'm sorry, Jim.
Are we sure this is not the Flashpoint Batman?
No, because he's not using guns 24/7.
I'm sorry.
What's with the camera? Now we're in Battlefield Earth mode. What?
Barbara, now is not the time to be joking. This is serious.
Are you there?
It says unknown, so...
Even the detective mode doesn't seem to register the skeleton, though.
It's like gagging the Digimon, the first season of the Digimon.
What?
Yeah. The one with the phones that go.
So many cockroaches, you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rocksteady flexing what they can do with the Unreal Engine 3.
Which is kind of a miracle considering the engine was kind of difficult to wrangle with.
This is ironic since its little brother would go on to become the engine that almost everyone uses
It's kind of like with
nowadays.
Windows operating systems, Jova. Sometimes you get the one that really, really works out, but most of the other times you get the ones that people just wants to get over with quickly.
Jesus, these guys are speaking up loud enough to wake the dead. Wait a minute.
I mean, on that kind of concept is actually interesting. The Borg literally shouting Batman to get out, Amityville horror style, what everything claps. I kind of wish it was actually a proper cutscene instead of just this.
Okay, this is one of those cases I'm okay with it being gameplay because the fact that they show
exiting the same room.
Oh snap!
But there are
this is
body
probably
bags. Let's see what's in number one.
And they're rustling.
All right. Oh, of course.
Father, you should have stood up to him, son.
Don't worry, I've never listened to rock and roll.
I was like
once.
10 years old.
That's no excuse. It sounds like a skill issue, son. Also, for once, my pearls are intact.
Good for you. Well, what's in
Yeah,
bag
that was
number 3,
dead.
though?
Himself.
I am your long-lost brother, Bruce.
Shut up, Tom. Surprise! That was
And
really
before you
bad,
asked Wibbs,
bad
no.
halitosis.
And before you asked Wibbs, no, he does not know his secret identity. That's just stuff that the fear toxin
This
does.
is all in Bruce's mind. This is not, Scarecrow secretly getting himself. It's just the toxin. And here we have the highlight, and thanks to the NVIDIA physics, capacity on PC, we get to see more stuff in action, like the brakes getting, thrown all over the place. This is a
I think this is why I'm okay with this
2.5D stealth section, with Scarecrow as your main obstacle, as you're about to see.
Yeah. Consider this the closest thing you get to a Scarecrow boss fight, which, to be fair, I'm kind of more fine with this, since Scarecrow's definitely one of the villains who actually cannot put up and fight.
And yeah, the cutscene gives you a good idea on what to expect. If he sees you, it's a one-hit kill, so don't get caught. Bizarrely, the most bizarre thing in all of this is that at random interval, Batman's model, as you're about to see, will flash rapidly and change into the one of Scarecrow himself. I have no idea what the significance of that is supposed to be. Like, it's not like Scarecrow is trying to take over Batman's identity with his toxin.
Imagine a villain in the Arkham universe in Batman's mind trying to take over him. Never would happen.
Yeah. It's still like the most fascinating part because it seems very specific in what it wants to tell, and yet it remains mysterious nonetheless. I don't know if that's
I feel like
I talked about specifically this, but I am fascinated nonetheless by it.
Yeah. Sorry, which guy I follow?
Whatever the Batman videos there is called.
Oh yeah, Batman Arkham videos, yeah. I like to imagine that the stuff with Scarecrow is a combination of them having story ideas that they may or may not come to, or them just putting in random stuff and letting us theorize.
This is done to reach for a bad signal, and you're good to go. This is
imagine Batman using the power of the light.
You're only given just an idea on what might have happened in IRL, as Batman was, moving his way through the location, but you're not given, a definitive answer, just, take a wild guess.
There is one sequence where I think you can piece together what happened, and let me tell you, the result is hilarious.
If I recall correctly, I'm about to get the upgrade. Actually, no, just the remote control batarang. Another time. Go on.
But yeah, no, Oracle. Scarecrow is such a big deal that while Joker was definitely the main highlight, Scarecrow gained enough popularity from the Arkham series to arguably be considered for a main foe himself in a later title. How that turns out, you'll have to judge later when we get to that.
Speaking of villains, here's the remains of another one, the one that I mentioned tied to Arkham Asylum Hell on Earth, the Great White Shark, Northern White.
See what happened to Killer Croc eat him in this verse?
It's kind of like a mixture between Killer Croc and Black Mask when you get down to it, but yeah, it's just fine.
If I recall correctly, he tends to butt heads with Killer Croc a lot in the comics.
All this tells me is that, Gotham has a lot of people with very, very rare skin conditions.
I know, it's uncanny, isn't it? Even better, it turns out some of these guys were from out of town and just decided to settle down in Gotham City.
I mean, it kind of makes sense with people like Professor Pig, because... And there you go, it was just a random guard. And the Circles of Strange, because the stories tied to those characters are just... Oof. If you're only exposed to the character thanks to Beware the Batman, you're in for a real nasty surprise if you get to read the source material where it comes from.
Oh boy. I'm actually shocked they put him in the show, given
because they changed his character almost completely into just an animal rights activist, which, sure. I guess at least on the plus side, it gets something better to do to Mr. Toad, because in the comics he dies in one issue.
It's like, why do it? I think in all these kid shows, they have never once brought in Victor Zsasz.
And even some
So, like,
more,
why do it
you
with
know,
Pig, who's one of the few villains who, if I recall correctly, Pig's credited as, like, one of the few villains that even Victor Zsasz finds revolting.
yes, because compared to
which-
the other villains, he's the one who genuinely has a psychosis going on rather than to be malicious in his intent. He genuinely just needs therapy.
Yeah, every time I see a superhero when they're up against someone with a knife, I keep thinking of that scene in the first Amazing Spider-Man movie, where Spidey pretends to surrender. It's like, no, please don't. My one weakness is small knives.
The joke's so good that they spammed it in the trailers, but I won't lie, it is actually still a good joke.
Your precious police commissioner is just through the glass. Take a look.
Okay.
Harley's under strict instructions
Oh,
to kill
there
the
you go.
old man if any of my guys even think you're in the room. They're patrolling down there. I've told them all you're on the way. So here's the deal.
Yeah, they're just
If you can
there.
find a
We
way
need
to
to
get
find
to
a way to
Harley
get
without
in
anyone
there and take
realizing,
down Harley
I'll
Quinn
give
without
you
being
your
seen.
next present.
It also introduces due to the concept of the maps. The Riddler has actually generally put maps that highlights all of these collectibles on the specific locations where you acquire the map, like in this case the medical facility. In later games you will need to actually earn better the way the locations. Fun fact, you do get a special game over screens if you get spotted where, you know, Harley shoots Gordon, which is a good segue. The one thing that you're not gonna see in these playthroughs are the game over screens. They are famous in their own right because it's just specific villains taunting Batman's corpse, basically, in a specific way, but one, there are way too many, and you need to trigger them under very specific conditions, so I argue they require a bit too much effort, and there are countless compilations on YouTube that you can find of them. Needless to say, I respect them, you know, they're fun, but we're not here for those.
You're kind of like me with Ace Attorney runs, especially when we get to the newer games, which actually have a lot more custom endings based off of failing. In fact, get this to you, in the 3DS games, you know how normally with Ace Attorney, whenever you get a penalty, you usually get the same usual speech? Well, the 3DS games, at least Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice, give you like multiple different speeches for if you pick the wrong thing, essentially. That said, for the sake of simplicity, I'm not gonna go out of my way to try and get them
Sure.
all, since one, I typically don't like to fail too much. Although, admittedly, there is also a neat mechanic where if you get penalized too much, your co-counsel will try to make things easier by noticing things in a certain statement or two or whatnot.
And Capcom still put that stupid story mode in the re-releases.
Yeah, which is funny because one of people's complaints about Dual Destinies was that they thought the game held your hand way too much compared to the original stuff.
Also,
So now here's the story mode.
Also, isn't case one of Dual Destinies about like a bomb? Does the court explode if you fail too many times?
I think that is one of the bad endings if like you fail on one of the days of it or whatnot.
Dweebs, what did I told you about writing? Guess it's BRB.
It's funny because Dual Destinies literally starts with an explosion, which you saw when we commentated on the demo.
It's been quite a while, admittedly. Anyways, you can see this Predator section is there to just, you know, keep you on your toes. You can still take on everyone if you want, but you need to be careful of not being spotted. Harley Quinn cannot see you, so don't worry about her being in an elevated position. So you can just take down everyone and then be on your merry way. But if you want, if I recall correctly, you can just go to where she is. So
This is arguably the more satisfying way, and hey, nets you more XP, so
yes,
might as well.
oh boy, free XP. Also, someone is inside there, but can't see who that is.
Hmm.
Remember, even Smell-O-Man in tights and Harley kills the old man.
Bonk.
Gotcha.
Took longer than I thought. He's out of control. He's trying to prove something. I'm not sure I can
The
stop
Joker's out of control.
You'll do
Must
it.
be a day that ends in Y.
We're not alone. He's got something else down there. I don't know what it is.
What a blabber! come out, spoiling the surprise.
Be quiet.
Oh, am I getting to you? Am I? Good.
Batman really just told, no you.
This next bit.
So who do we have inside?
It wants Dr. Young's login. Never mind that. Get behind me, now. Bane.
It's Bane, and because this is before The Dark Knight Rises was released, this is more inspired, unfortunately, by Batman and Robin's Bane, believe it or not. It's better than in that movie, but you'll see.
If I'm being fair, a lot of comics were doing this kind of look for Bane anyway, so...
Well, even behavior for now is fine. It's definitely more intelligible than the first live action Bane, but as you'll see, things are about
intelligible
to
until this happens.
Yeah.
Alright, so we have a Bane fight. I wonder what unique mechanics they'll come up for this boss fight.
Ow. Whee!
Well, at least you didn't break your back this time.
So the idea is that unfortunately it functions exactly like the guy that you faced in the transfer room. Mind you, the thing that you need to watch out is that the Eldar, Bane will use the Venom, pumps, to regenerate if you don't take care of them. So you need to first take down the Eldar as much as you can, and then proceed to do a specific, tackling that allows Batman to actually rip one of the tubes off his back, which you're about to see.
I do like how he does that back-breaking motion against you. Because, it's Bane, so we always got to refer to that time he broke Batman's back.
Again, Bane does not get the best treatment, at least in the Rocksteady developed games. Its origins that finally gives the character a bit of dignity, possibly for synergy's sake, because by the time that came out, The Dark Knight Rises had come out, so and being a prequel, they based this characterization more about, that movie's version, for better or worse. Thankfully, it doesn't sound as goofy as Tom Hardy was, thank God.
He still had the Venom at least.
Yes, I really don't understand. Okay, we didn't really mention this when we did the movie commentary, and to be fair, it's kind of been, a while and possibly in need of a generation at some point, but I really don't understand what the logic of Nolan was in not wanting Bane to use the Venom, because most of the other characters in the Batman movies he made were comic book accurate, but Bane it's just a guy that knows to fight.
Remember, Teal, it was the Nolan-verse. We had to make villains as realistic as we possibly could in the same universe where Batman has a flying tank.
But to be fair, Scarecrow's toxin was still properly a thing, working as intended at the very least. To be fair, Scarecrow's stuff was hallucinogens, which one could argue are arguably realistic. It wasn't like that stuff was actually happening in real life for the most part. But, true, but
good way to flex the special effects.
You still veer into the realm of sci-fi with that, technically. So.
I mean, well, gee, maybe it's almost like, maybe it's like focusing on trying to be realistic. Kind of brought things to a detriment with the Nolan-verse. Oh, here we go.
Because from what I understand, Bane is one of the more bigger and smarter villains.
At least in this initial run. Later on, it just became kind of like a repetition of his shtick, including the failed marriage with Catwoman and the death of Alfred in recent times. Thanks, DC Rebirth. Anyway, hold on, Batman's planning something.
Where's Quinn? Gone. Must have gotten loose while Bane was throwing you around.
We'll have to deal with her later.
I'm not a rookie. I can handle myself.
I'm sorry, Lucy. It seems we enter Aquaman territory.
Well, I could have sworn in Aquaman they were right in the middle of a sentence.
No, babe.
Oh.
This time I break you.
It would have been so funny if Batman managed to bring Bane's back.
And there goes the
Hey.
Batmobile. Don't worry, I'm pretty sure he has a spare.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have an Injustice Gods Among Us super move.
Ramming the
Get back to
Batmobile
daylight.
into someone.
It's too dangerous here.
That is legit his heroic super move in Injustice Gods Among Us.
Radio claims he's planted
Anyway, at the
bombs
very
all
least,
over
the
Gotham.
Commissioner Gordon can
You're
get back
nearly
to the
there.
mainland and trying to defuse the bomb, so he's gonna be fine,
Bane called Dr.
hopefully.
Young Bruja. What does it mean? It's Spanish for witch.
But yeah, it also
There's your
means,
Spanish lesson, kids.
yeah, it makes you wonder what Dr. Young is really, wanting, considering she also was pressuring to get back to their stupid papers. I guess maybe we shall see that in the next part. See ya.
Indeed.
So yeah,